Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a galaxy far, far away, and happy 12th of December. We are halfway towards Christmas now. It is absolutely amazing. And flying out of door number 12, we have an Imperial shuttle. And not just any shuttle. This is the Emperor's personal shuttle that he arrives at the second Death Star in Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. He arrives in this shuttle in Return of the Jedi. And the model is really, really nice. Its wings can move. And even though it was quite clear that this was an Imperial shuttle, it took a little bit of time for me to figure out that this was the Emperor's shuttle. And what gives it away is the dorsal fin that has a peculiar shape on this model compared to the original called Lambda class Imperial shuttle. So this is an upgraded shuttle compared to the Lambda class shuttle that we see many, many times in Return of the Jedi that I will mention here in a moment. This one is outfitted with a cloaking device, meaning that he can actually turn the ship invisible, which is really, really convenient for a character like Palpatine, who really needs to move in secret. So that's very handy. Okay, as I said, in Return of the Jedi, we see this type of shuttle, or the Lambda-class shuttle, many, many times. Darth Vader arrives in his own Lambda shuttle in the beginning of the movie, and a shuttle of this type called the Shuttle Tidarium was actually flown by Han Solo and his strike team towards the forest moon of Endor, and they used it to pass the Imperial blockade. It was actually a fun little fact here. Shuttle Tidarium was stolen by the Empire by none other than Nien Nunb. And Nien Nunb is the co-pilot for Lando Calrissian when he flies the Millennium Falcon into the core of the second Death Star to blow it up towards the end of the movie. All right, there's not that much else to say about this type of shuttle, but I won't. Of course, I'll end on a bonus fact, because originally this type of ship was only seen was the first time seen in Return of the Jedi. But as you may know, in the end of the 90s, George Lucas actually made special editions of the original movies where a few extra scenes were set in. And actually he did that in the end of The Empire Strikes Back. He actually put in a short scene after Darth Vader has defeated Luke in the lightsaber duel, where you see Darth Vader walking towards his own shuttle to fly back to its Star Destroyer. So in the special editions, the first time you see this type of shuttle is in Empire Strikes Back. And actually, let me use a little extra time to talk a little bit about these special editions, because they are actually a little bit controversial, especially also because they actually went in and not only made new versions of the originals, they replaced the originals. So you can't actually, in any legal way, get a hold of the original copies, and not as far as I know, at least. And the movies were created because George Lucas didn't think that the technology back in the 70s and 80s were on a sufficient level for him to actually bring his vision to life. And that's at least why he claims that he had to make them. I guess money was also involved somewhere. But he didn't just update them. He also added a lot of new scenes. We've already talked about that Jabba the Hutt was added to A New Hope. And we also just talked about this scene with Darth Vader walking to the shuttle. But there are actually other scenes, and this is also where some of the controversy comes in. I guess the most talked about and most controversial scene is the scene where Han and Greedo are having a standoff in the Mos Eisley canteen. And in the original film, after the argument, Han shoots Greedo, and in the special edition, Greedo actually fires a shot first before Han shoots him. And here's the thing. I know that when I'm going to say this, I'm probably going to get the entire Star Wars fandom to attack me, and everyone will unsubscribe when I say this, but I actually don't have a problem with Han not shooting first. I have a problem with the way that this is implemented, because it simply looks so bad. It takes me completely out of the illusion. I mean, I don't mind it. It was George Lucas thought that it was a too cold thing from Han to do, and I actually don't think that matters that much, because Han is on the same redemption arc afterwards. He was definitely a scoundrel in the beginning, and he starts to soften up during the events of the movie until the end, where he actually comes in and saves the day, even when you thought that he actually left. I don't think the fact that he's shooting in self-defense in the beginning does much to his character arc. So I think he should just have left it, but I don't mind it that much. I mind the execution of it. I'll put a link in the description of this video where you can see how it has actually looked in the different editions, because they He changed it to the special edition, and it has been changed again and again and again, and it never really looks good. That's my thing. But the changes that I have the most problems with are actually in Return of the Jedi, because first of all, there is a sing and dance scene in Jabba's palace with Max Rebo and Size Noodles that just it hasn't aged well. But my main problem is actually towards the end of the movie, because the very last scene you see in the movie, you see Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi as Force ghosts, and then they are joined by the ghost of the now redeemed Anakin Skywalker. And in the original movie, it was actually Sebastian Shaw who played Darth Vader when Luke takes off his helmet, that was standing there in nice Jedi robes, and that made so much sense, and I think it was perfect. It should not have been touched, but George Lucas decided that to put in Hayden Christensen instead. And I don't have any problems with Hayden Christensen. I need to state that again very clearly, but I don't think it makes much sense. His excuse is that it's your uncorrupted version. How did you look before he actually fell to the dark side? That's what he reverts to. But he did end up coming back to the light side just before he died. So I don't think that argument makes much sense. I just think he wanted to make a little callback to the prequels. So yeah. Let me hear in the comments. What do you think about the special editions or Imperial shuttles or anything? Let me know in the comments. The comment track is open. Please give this video a like if you liked it, of course. And if you aren't subscribed already, I hope you will subscribe to my channel. And I also hope you will share this video with friends and family or anyone you think of. And if they happen to speak Danish, I also have a Danish version of this video. That's it. See you tomorrow for another door. Bye bye.